She was the next Steve Jobs, or so we were told. Elizabeth Holmes, a 19-year-old Stanford dropout, promised to revolutionize medicine with just a single drop of blood. Investors believed her. Patients trusted her. She raised over $700 million, built a $9 billion company, fooled generals, politicians, billionaires. But it was all a lie. This is the story of Theranos. Elizabeth was born in Washington, D.C. in 1984. Her father worked for government agencies. Her mother worked for Congress. As a child, Elizabeth was obsessed with success. She once wrote, "What I really want out of life is to discover something new, something that mankind didn't know was possible." At 19, she enrolled at Stanford to study chemical engineering. Just a year later, she dropped out and used her tuition money to launch Theranos in a Palo Alto garage. Theranos is the biotech company founded by Elizabeth Holmes. The Edison was the blood testing device Theranos marketed. First funding rounds, $6 to $7 million by 2004. Valuation jumped to $30 million, then to $197 million by 2007. By 2010, valuation hit $1 billion. Theranos' big idea? A tiny, compact machine that could test blood using just a finger prick. No needles, no vials, instant diagnostics. It was revolutionary if it worked. Elizabeth convinced professors, scientists, and investors. She adopted the black turtlenecks, modeled her persona after Steve Jobs. She hired ex-Apple designers to make Theranos devices look like iPods. By 2010, Theranos was valued at $1 billion. Theranos repeatedly claimed the Edison device could run hundreds of tests from a single finger prick drop, promised military contracts, Walgreens partnerships, rapid national rollout. The board was filled with former political heavyweights, Schultz, Kissinger, Mattis, who lacked medical expertise, enabled the deception. Despite the issues, the media loved her. Time, Fortune, Forbes all put her on covers. She raised funding from a Rupert Murdoch, $125 million, the Walton family, Walmart, Betsy DeVos, a Henry Kissinger, a General Mattis. Total raised roughly $700 to $724 million by 2014 to 2015. At peak, Theranos valued at $9 billion, Holmes hailed as youngest self-made billionaire in U.S., featured on Forbes and Time lists. But not a single peer-reviewed paper existed, and no one, not even investors, saw how the tech worked. But behind the scenes, nothing worked. The device, called Edison, produced false results. Patients were misdiagnosed. Doctors received dangerous data, but Holmes kept the illusion alive. She installed real lab machines in the back to run tests, while the Edison sat unplugged. Employees were gagged with NDAs. Some engineers quit. Others were fired for asking questions. Journalist John Carreyrou at the Wall Street Journal started digging. He spoke with ex-employees, found evidence of test failures and deception, internal reports of inconsistent data, dangerous lab practices. John Carreyrou's groundbreaking Wall Street Journal investigation, October 2015, exposed that Theranos was using third-party Siemens machines and fabricated results. Theranos tried to stop the article. Holmes' lawyers threatened sources. But in 2015, the truth came out. Theranos machines don't work. They've never worked. The FDA, SEC, and CMS began investigations. Key insiders emerged. Tyler Schultz, grandson of board member George Schultz. Erica Chung, former lab worker. They exposed how data was manipulated, how Holmes lied about partnerships with Walgreens and the military. Tyler's own grandfather refused to believe him until it was too late. CMS and FDA cracked down. Lab declared unsafe, FDA reports of unvalidated devices. Walgreens terminates rollout, CMS threatens fines and revokes certifications. In 2016, the CMS banned Holmes from operating labs for 2 years. Walgreens and Safeway pulled out. Theranos voided 2 years' worth of blood tests. Investors sued. Board members quit. SEC and DOJ charges in March 2018 for massive fraud involving investors and patients. Holmes settles SEC in 2018. $500,000 fine, returns shares, banned from public officer role for 10 years. Holmes and Sunny Balwani indicted June 2018. Theranos dissolved September 2018. Final office closures and layoffs. By 2018, Theranos was dead. Once worth $9 billion, now worth nothing. Holmes convicted January 2022 on wire fraud and conspiracy charges. Sentenced in November 2022 to 135 months, 11 years, 3 months, in federal prison. In 2023, she began serving her 11-year sentence in federal prison. Balwani sentenced 13 years. Her story is a cautionary tale of ambition unchecked, of image over substance, and how Silicon Valley's obsession with disruption blinded it to the truth. Believe in yourself is powerful, but not when it's a $9 billion lie. Investor and VC ecosystem reflections. Hype culture. Fake it till you make it. Health tech due diligence reforms post-Theranos scandal. Highlight ongoing debates. Holmes's personality profile, sociopathic tendencies, lack of remorse, potential future ventures despite scandal. Final reflections. Charisma versus competency, ethics in startup culture, investment caution in medical innovation. For over a decade, Silicon Valley bought into a vision built on illusion. When that illusion collapsed, the fallout reshaped tech and healthcare. Elizabeth Holmes didn't just lose a company, she lost trust. And Silicon Valley may never be the same. If you enjoyed the story, hit subscribe and don't miss the next rise or the next fall.